Most people believe that saving money is all about willpower. It's just willpower. If you have enough, then you'll be able to save. But it's not. Saving money is about systems, priorities, and understanding your behavior. My name is Jason Ellinger. In this video, I'm going to just help you understand how to save money in a more realistic way, even if you don't earn a lot of money, and even if you've tried before and you failed, because I've been there. These are practical principles that you can start using immediately that work. All right, listen. Number one, why do most people struggle to save? I've talked to so many people, even high income earners, and they struggle to save money. Most people, they don't struggle because they're terribly irresponsible. One of the most common reasons is because they often put saving as something that can be done at the end of the month if something is left over, or if all the other priorities in life have been covered because I'm a good citizen, then I'll get to saving. That approach almost never works. It only works in the situation where you're super geeky and you always have something left over and you're like a miser. But for all the rest of us out there, it very seldom works. Expenses often, they expand to match your income. So every time you get a pay bump, you also get a little bit nicer car, or get a little nicer phone, or get that extra subscription you've always been wanting, but you just didn't do simply because you didn't feel like you had the margin. This is the truth, guys. Listen, if saving is optional, it gets skipped. The solution is not more motivation. It's changing the order of operation, how you do things that make it work. All right, so listen, save first, then adapt your life. One of the most effective principles in finance is very simple. Save first, spend second. When saving happens automatically and immediately, you will start to adjust your lifestyle, even in a much more natural way. This removes emotion from the process and turns it into a habit. And it also removes it from having to be guilty because you haven't covered all the other things first. Most of you are really well-meaning people and you want to cover all the expenses that you have created in your life first and then be so self-sacrificial that you save in the end. But if you do it that way, month after month after month, you're going to find yourself lacking and you're not going to find a bigger pile of money in your bank because you just didn't put saving first. Saving must be turned into a habit instead of a decision. If you have to make the decision every day to save a little bit of money so that you can save more at the end of the month, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to be there, simply because it's too hard over the process of an entire month to figure out how many tiny decisions that you had to make throughout the entire month to be able to save a pile of money at the end. That's stressful, that's hard, and it feels a little bit heavy. So if you do it at the front end of the month, you made the decision, it becomes a habit, it's part of your life, it makes a big difference. And to that, we have to define what saving actually means. Saving does not mean hoarding your money like a miser, sitting in some dungeon somewhere, swimming through his pile of money. Saving means assigning money a purpose, a job, before that money disappears. That purpose could be in the form of an emergency fund. It could be a future purpose. It could be investing. It could be creating some kind of stability in a specific area of your life. Or, you know, a baby's coming in 9 months and we've got to have some money to pay for that whole entire event. So how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to have to start saving some money. When money has a job, you stop wondering where it went, and it does its maximum work for you on your behalf for your benefit instead of slips out the door for the benefit of others. Here's a step-by-step system so that you can start saving today. Step one, know your real income. What do you make after taxes? What cash gets into your account? What check do you receive? Or what digits get deposited into your bank account every single month? Twice a month, one time a month, whatever your payment schedule is. Look at what you actually bring home after taxes and all the deductions that would come out of your paycheck. For example, if you work for a big corporation and you've got a 401k or what have you, and there's a match that comes out and you're putting the maximum amount of money towards that match so that you get the match, then you need to make sure that that's calculated. Okay, so that money goes there, I get the match, but I still get this exact amount of money in my account on the 1st and 15th of each month. That number that gets into your account matters a lot more than what the big salary number is on the contract that you have with the company you're working with. Step two, for 30 days, track your spending. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad. It's like, well, I should have spent money. Just track it. Awareness changes behavior faster. Awareness about what you're doing changes behavior faster than rules do. Just becoming aware of like, wait a minute. Oh, I spend money on that. And then you find out that you're spending on that every single month, and you take a look at that like, well, I really don't value it that much. And then all of a sudden you have this system. You start to change the mode of operandi so that you can change where that money's going. The third thing you have to do is create a realistic savings rule. Start with something that you for sure can maintain, something that you know that you can do. 10% is fine. 15 is better. The goal is consistency. It's not perfection. Just decide on an amount of money that you will save based on the amount of money you have coming in and the spending record that you just tracked. Like, okay, well, based on that, I should be able to save this amount every single month. Great. Start there. Step 4, automate everything that you can. Now, in this day and age, I know there's a lot of different people and a lot of different age brackets here, and some people are more in tune with automation and they have more access and more ability to do that, which when you can, do it. If you can't, fine. But I would say, if at all possible, automate this one thing in your entire financial experience, and that is automate saving. When the money comes in, whatever portion goes to savings. Do that before you ever have the chance to spend it. What you don't see in your account, you don't miss. So with that, we do have to talk about one more very important part of the puzzle, and that is controlling emotional spending. Most unnecessary spending is emotional. It's not planned out, it just kind of happens. People say they're stressed, they're bored, they're tired, they're lonely, and they start comparing themselves to others, and they just go out to be with other people. Maybe you live alone and you're not married, your apartment, you've worked all week and you're like, gosh, I just don't want to eat alone again. One simple tool you can use here is to use the 24-hour rule. I was amazed. I went to the gym the other day and my gym trainer, we started going to a brand new gym and he's already made friends with almost everybody in the gym. Why? Simply because he took the time to be interested in other people as we're working out together. If a purchase isn't essential to control the emotional spending part, wait a day or 2, or maybe wait a week. Just make sure it's an intentional purchase that fits your plan and your mode of operation, how you operate your finances. Most impulse purchases disappear when you give yourself a little time. Saving money does not require you to cut expenses on everything that you enjoy. It requires you to cut in areas that don't add real value to your life. Start by looking at some of those subscriptions you just haven't paid attention to, but you probably haven't used for 2 or 3 years. Maybe some convenience spending, maybe habits that don't align with the goals that you have set for your finances. And if you don't have goals for your finances, this is your wake-up call to start. We're talking about small changes that are repeated consistently that really over time create meaningful results. You know, one of the most profound things that I deliver to young people and help them understand the impact of finances over time and compound interest is it really takes a small amount to create a multi-million-dollar net worth over the process of your working lifetime. If you start at 18, you can invest $100 a month, and by the time you're 67, you'll have over $3 million. That's if you never do anything else but invest $100 a month. It's crazy how small the amount of money is that it takes to build generational, life-changing wealth. Listen, we have to build stability before chasing growth. Before you focus on investing or side income, we have to do the groundwork. Build stability. An emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, that's your goal. If you don't have one of those, then that's the goal that you should have to bring to reality in your financial life before you do anything else, even before investing, because that helps you change how you respond when life hits you. And it's going to hit you. It hits me, it hits everyone else in the world, and it's going to hit you. So if you have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund there, then it helps to make a little bit of a buffer. Stability reduces panic. It improves your decision-making factors because dumb and desperate, they're both cousins, and it creates confidence in your future. Saving money is really, it's not about deprivation of what you actually want, desire, or hope for. It's about freedom. It's about freedom to handle emergencies, freedom to say no when you really shouldn't, freedom to invest in opportunities. Money should be a support to the life that you want to live. It shouldn't control it. And so here's what you don't need. You don't need a complicated system to save money. You need a clear rule, consistency, and patience. If this video helped you, like it. It helps me grow the channel. Subscribe if you want more practical conversations about money, leadership, and building a stable life. And comment below, what's one expense that you're going to reduce this month?